Every child has dreamed of going to space one day. With the advancement of technologies and the interest of billionaires to explore a new otherworldly market, this is closer to becoming a reality than ever before. So let's bring the best information about potential commercial travel and show 8 amazing destinations on the planet Mars. You cannot miss these phenomenal locations, and specifically, number 4 will leave you freezing. Richard Branson and 5 other passengers carried out the first successful commercial spaceflight on July 11, 2021. The ship, produced by Virgin Galactic Holding Incorporated, the billionaire's company, took about 40 minutes to reach maximum altitude, reaching speed supersonic and remained for about 4 minutes without gravity. After that, the rocket began to descend at high speed, turning the unit into a type of glider. Just a few days later, on July 20, 2021, Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon and the space company Blue Origin, led a journey into space, not forgetting his cartoonish cowboy hat. With him flew his brother Mark, the oldest woman to go into space, 82-year-old Wally Funk, and the youngest person and the first to pay to go into space, 18-year-old Oliver Demain. In September 2021, Elon Musk left his biggest mark on space travel. He took passengers on a commercial trip around the Earth that lasted 3 days, making his predecessors look like they didn't even travel. In 2023, Elon Musk announced preparations for 2 commercial flights around the moon, which he plans to carry out later this year. These missions should last about 5 days, 2 to reach the moon, 1 day around the satellite, and 2 more days to return to Earth. Although the plans are quite exciting, investments in this space race point to an even greater growth of these trips, and the next destination to explore is Mars. A tourist who wants to go to Mars can be sure that he will have an incredible experience, as the planet is composed of spectacular landscapes and varied terrains. While we are still dreaming about this trip, how about getting to know some of these incredible destinations that we will be able to visit soon? But first, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the news about space travel. Number 1. Olympus Mons. The first destination we have for you is Olympus Mons, nothing less than the most extreme volcano in the entire solar system. NASA claims that its dimensions are equivalent to the state of Arizona. It is 13 miles tall, almost 3 times taller than the highest peak on Earth, Mount Everest. The reason for this height is the lower force of gravity that Mars has, allowing the volcano to rise higher. The volcano probably stopped being active 2 million years ago, according to the traces of lava found. A traveler could marvel at the mound's grandeur and explore the different formations along the mound. Number 2. Tarsus Volcano. Olympus Mons is arguably the most striking volcano on Mars, but the Tarsus region also has 11 other gigantic volcanoes, including Ascraeus Mons, Povanus Mons, and Arcea Mons. They may have functioned about 2 billion years ago, half the age of the planet, the time that allowed for its massive increase. Number 3. Valles Marineris. In addition to having large mountains, we can also find depressions and canyons on the planet. In fact, the Valles Marineris is 4 times the size of the Grand Canyon on Earth, reaching an impressive 1,850 miles or 3,000 kilometers in length, and half the size of the Great Rift Valley on Earth. Although it is not certain how the formation of the valley occurred, theories do indicate that it was a consequence of land movements in the Tarsus region, which would have caused cracks in the ground. Number 4. The North and South Poles. Mars also has very extreme temperatures. The lowest is at the planet's north and south poles and can reach negative 140 degrees Celsius or negative 220 degrees Fahrenheit in winter. During this period, carbon dioxide from the atmosphere condenses, forming ice on the surface of the poles. These gas exchanges culminate in adverse weather conditions, with violent storms and winds reaching around 250 miles per hour. At the South Pole, there are also geyser-like eruptions influenced by solar radiation in the summer. Number 5. Gale Crater and Mount Sharp. The soil formation in Gale Crater is a strong indication of past water passage. One of the points that raised curiosity about the region was the fact that on multiple occasions, complex organic molecules were found. In addition, methane was also found, which could be a sign of life on the planet. Number 6. Medusa Crater. Medusa Crater is another destination you shouldn't miss when visiting Mars. It is still not certain how it formed, but it is assumed that massive and high-frequency volcanic eruptions will also occur. Its terrain is at its most awkward, but it is still a beautiful sight worth admiring. It's hard to guess the events that led to the atypical formation we see today. The wind may have also played an important role in this process. Number 7. Recurrent Slope Lanai and Gale Crater. The recurrent slope Lanai and Gale Crater are even more mysterious structures. NASA spectroscopy recognized spots of hydration, but it is not known whether they indicate running water, air humidity, or even dry flows in the sand. We need to really get close to analyze these signals, but precautions are needed. If there is any form of life in the region, it is important to prove the security of the mission so there is no contamination. Number 8. Ghost dunes in Noctis Labyrinthus and Hellas Basin. One more region that shows the passage of water in the past is the ghost dunes in Noctis Labyrinthus and Hellas Basin. The formation of dune structures that lost their top with erosion but kept their base under the influence of water and lava creates a totally different and perplexing look. An additional possibility is the existence of some form of life present at the base of the dunes, protected from solar radiation by the structures as if they were shields. But we will only know this when we get closer to the planet. But the question remains, would it be possible to live on Mars? Well, there are many factors to consider. First, the temperature conditions are extreme. However, the average temperature on the planet as a whole, which is negative 52 degrees Fahrenheit, is close to the average temperature in Antarctica, which is negative 57 degrees Fahrenheit, where we have sustainable facilities that allow for survival, so it could be manageable. Entering the atmosphere of Mars is not an easy task, as the planet has a thin atmosphere that does not help in slowing down the spacecraft for a smooth landing. But even if we have the technology to take this structure to Mars and create the necessary shelters, Mars has some other inhospitable features. Mars is a very dry planet. It's like a giant desert. On Mars, the percentage of available oxygen is 0.14%, while on Earth we have an atmosphere of 21% oxygen. But luckily, there is a way to generate oxygen on the planet from perchlorate, which can be found in abundance on the surface of Mars. On the other hand, this is also an extremely toxic substance for humans, so new research must be done to find a way to extract oxygen without contaminating humans. Another great villain on the planet is the sun. Well, actually, any source of radiation, as the planet doesn't have the same kind of atmosphere as Earth, which creates a strong magnetic shield to defend us against radiation. It may be that one day we will have enough technology to deal with all these obstacles and ensure safe survival on Mars, but until then, we can only bet on short visits. Oh, and remember, a trip to Mars should take about 7 to 9 months, so don't forget to pack some books to keep you entertained. Tell us in the comments if you would rather climb Olympus Mons or discover the ghost dunes in Noctis Labyrinthus and Hellas Basin. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, with more amazing content about the universe.